I know I should do like a lighting check before I start, and I never. Whoops. That's too dark, right? Ah. Okay. Let's try this again. Mr. Coco Peal, Esther Marie. Okay, so that's one lighting setting. That one's more. That makes me look. Okay. We shall leave it alone. Mr. Broadway, nice to see you. Welcome, 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 everybody. Oh, I always go and hit something that I'm not supposed to hit. And of course, let me type in, oops. The page to follow is the Pum Pum Chronicles podcast page. Why am I always typing the wrong thing? Yo, Ivan, whatever, guy, you just logged in. Why are you requesting to talk to me? You don't know who I am. Please don't act crazy. I don't like when people come on my live and act crazy. Okay, so that's the podcast page if anybody wants to go over there and follow. Greetings and good evening, everyone. Nice to see you all. Just after 9 o'clock and due diligence, we usually give it till about 9:10 for people to join in, discuss house rules. I do not accept chat requests from people who are not previously scheduled and from people that I do not know. So, Ivan, whoever you are, I don't know you. We've never spoken before, so I'm absolutely not taking a chat request from you. Molza3za3, greetings and good night. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the Pum Pum Chronicles. I am your host, AJ Badass Jones. So this is my personal page. My podcast page is the Pum Pum Chronicles Pod. Wet Wednesday is a live discussion that I do, a live adult discussion that I do. Dora Coleman, what's going on, sweetheart? Nice to see you. Welcome. So every Wednesday we do a live adult discussion called Wet Wednesdays. If you missed the live, it's not a problem. The episodes are posted within a couple of days. Within 48 hours, they're posted on my YouTube channel. So you can find them there. It's at the Pum Pum Chronicles. And as well, I have live episodes that are streaming from the platform on Anchor, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker. No, not Spreaker. Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, and I'm forgetting somebody. Stitcher. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So welcome. Join in the discussion. For those of you who are going to come on here and talk about my glorious cleavage, thank you. I know it doesn't need to be a topic every week. I'm at home, I dress comfortably, I have an ample bosom, it just is what it is. Don't get excited, it's not that serious. No, I don't want to discuss it, it's not that serious. Mr. Enviro-Comtastic, greetings and good evening. So today's topics, we are discussing period sex, yay or nay. We are going to talk about the size of the pussy lips, if the size of the pussy lips matter to you, whether you're a man or a woman, because you know, it goes for both, any gender that enjoys eating pussy. Does the size of the pussy lips matter to you? And then the third topic that we're going to tackle is something that I had heard, and then interestingly enough, people were commenting on the actual post, even though that wasn't like a prompted discussion. It was just to let you know what the topics were going to be. So that topic is, if you're with a man and he only ever fucks you from behind, like, does he like you? Is something wrong if he's only giving you bakas all the time? So those are the three topics. We're going to give it a couple more minutes for some more people to join in, as we always do. I am you. Yes, no roast beef, please. I am so... Is that what you guys call it? When the pom-pom lips are hanging down? Kuzo89. You guys call it roast beef? That's just disrespectful. That's disrespectful. But I actually have something to rebuttal that. I have to... sorry. Just scrolling through. Yeah, calling it roast beef is disrespectful. So, you know what? Since we're already Mr. Envirocumtastic decided to kind of put that out there. We can talk about that one first. So, in talk, okay, so I see these memes all the time where it shows like a sub sandwich or a hoagie. I'm not sure, different people call them different things, but it shows a sub sandwich where the meat is neatly tucked in and it's a neat sandwich, and then in the parallel screen they show a sandwich where the meat is spilling out of the sandwich, and they're saying like basically like, when you're in your teens, this is what your pussy looks like, where the lips are all tucked in and is neat and tight. And then in the other frame, that's what your pussy looks like 10, 15 years down the road when it's got a whole bunch of mileage on it and the pum pum lips are spilling out. Now, it's absurd, okay? Really and truly, they call them curtains too. I can't with you guys today with the names. But really and truly, the size of a woman's pussy lips do not determine the effectiveness of her vagina. It doesn't determine the tightness of her vagina. Yes, visually, maybe it's not appealing to look at, but the size of her pussy lips, like the small lips, if they hang down or not, has nothing to do with whether or not she can fuck good, whether or not her hole is tight, whether or not, you know what I mean, she's going to be a good sex partner. It has nothing to do with those things. Yes, it may be like from an aesthetic standpoint, like visually looking at it, it may be a turnoff if her lips are like, as you guys said, you guys are stupid. As you said, if her lips look like roast beef or S. Marie, what you say? If the lips them look like curtain. So yes, that could be a turnoff, but then at the same time, okay, so I did some research and I don't know how many of you have ever heard of a woman named Sarah Barton. She was alive like in the late 1800s into the early 1900s, and she was part of a tribe dubbed the Hottentot Venus, and it's basically stagioplasia. I can never pronounce it properly, but basically for women, it's that fat collects in the lower half of your body, and it's what creates like those huge asses. So they're really tiny at the top, and then they've got like this ginormous ass that looks like a ledge. So in the tribe that she's from, which is a tribe from South Africa, I believe it's called the Kohi tribe. Don't quote me. It's spelled Khoi, if I'm not mistaken. Anyhow, that tribe, Mr. Crazy Driver, what's going on? That particular tribe, Mr. 88th Wonder, nice to see you. That particular tribe, in addition to the women, all kind of resembling in terms of the lower half of their bodies where they've got like the big asses, they also have elongated inner pussy lips. Up to, and so of course, you know, when white people went to go colonize Africa and they found this tribe and they were all enamored and fascinated with the women because they had big asses and their pussy lips, like you could see the pussy as they're standing there, like you could literally like look and see the pussy. And what you were seeing was like the small casing of the fat outer lips, but then what was hanging down were their inner pussy lips. And when they actually went to examine a couple of the tribe's women, like S. Marie said, it was like a curtain, like these folds literally folded open. In that particular tribe, that was deemed to be attractive or sexy or a sign of fertility and what have you. And so what they ended up doing with Sarah Barton when she died, I think she died from syphilis or something like that. They removed her labia, like they literally cut out her pom pom to make a mold of it. To put on display in a museum, and they cut her ass, and you know they dissected her body and put her body on display. Anyways, the point is, it's just genetics. It has nothing to do with whether or not the fuck is gonna be good. It has nothing to do with whether or not the pussy is gonna stay good, and it has nothing to do with whether or not the pom pom is gonna be tight. It's just a genetic thing. Sometimes, however, it can stem from a lot of sucking, because you know it's like that sucking pulling motion. Like with anything else, it stretches over a period of time. That's more so likely to happen from the sucking or having your pussy eaten a lot over a period of time rather than fucking. Your lips don't get loose or flappy or floppy from fucking, like from taking actual dick. Like it just, and why anybody would think that is beyond me, because the penis is going inside the vagina. It's not rubbing or causing friction enough on the labia, the little inner lips, or the outer lips for them to stretch out. It just doesn't make any sense. Who has joined? Sorry, I'm like zooming my face into the camera. So 80th one. So you're saying it just looks great. So, but that's what I'm saying. Hold on a second. I'm going to move this a little bit closer. it's more so the visual appearance of it and what physically looks appealing, as opposed to any sort of functionality, as opposed to whether or not it has anything to do with the woman actually fucking well, right? But the thing is, okay, so like with gravity and over time, things tend to fall. So a woman, like when you're 16, your breasts are up here, they're perky, they're doing all the upright things that they're supposed to do and standing up in the air, and you can walk around, with no bra on for the most part, because your breasts are young and perky. And as you get older, like myself, and you become a more mature woman, like myself, and you've had children, like myself, your breasts become fuller. Gravity takes over. They hang a little lower. The girls are not sitting up here, but they're also not dragging down to my knees. You know what I mean? Things happen over a period of time where your body is getting older and gravity kind of does the thing that it does with your skin and everything else. And the craziest part about it is, like, women who have an insecurity. So some asshole of a man made them feel bad about the fact that their pom-pom lips are too big. You have women who are getting designer vaginas. So they're getting the lips, the longer lips, they're getting them cut and trimmed up. You know what I mean? They're plumping up the outer lips to make them more fat and cushiony. In some cases, they're even stitching up the hole to make the hole a little bit tighter, also that they can have the pretense of having a teenage vagina to impress. It's pausing, it's reconnecting, there we go. Designer vagina. Mr. Envirocontastic, what are you saying about tits? I don't even want to scroll back. Listen to me. If you start to act crazy, I'm going to eject you from my life. Don't come with the craziness. They are not tits. They are breasts. I'm not a cow. Tits are on cows. Hold on. I'll even give you an eye. All right, then. Just behave. Mr. Craze Driver, a tight vagina is a great thing, though. Okay, granted. But do the size of the woman's pussy lips have anything to do with the actual internal tightness of her pussy? That's the question that I'm asking. People make this visual assumption. And I get the visual connection, because it's like when you go to a restaurant and you see food, if it's not plated properly or if it doesn't look appetizing, it could taste like the greatest thing ever created. It could taste like heaven. But if it doesn't, like if it looks like something that somebody pulled out of the trash, you're not going to eat it. They could try to convince you that it would be the greatest, most fulfilling meal that you will ever have in your entire life. But if it looks like garbage, you're not trying it, not for nothing. And I'm guessing that men kind of think about pussy the same sort of way, that if the lips look too big, that means the pussy must be loose. Dora Coleman, see, we at Walmart, so Lego Master isn't. Yeah, just take his phone. just take his phone and stop letting him interact with me. Because you know what's going to end up happening? I'm going to end up cussing him, and I don't want to cuss him. Cut it out. 88th Wonder, I have not really focused on that more focused on the action. Okay. And that's fair. But like I said, I'm finding more and more that there is this unjustified and invalid association with having bigger, like longer lips, or a curtain, as not Marie called it. And somehow that's tied to the fact that the woman has loose pussy, which is not the case, or not always the case. Craze Driver, women want big penis though. If we come with that, at least don't have a hallway for a vagina. Okay, but again, the question is, we're not talking about the looseness of the pom-pom. The question is, do the pussy lips matter? Do the pussy lips, or the length or size, or, the length or size or hangage of the pussy lips, does that matter for the sex? Does that mean automatically that the woman's vagina is going to be loose? That's my question. Right? Because the thing is, okay, so for women, we can get a designer vagina. You can get the lips trimmed, you can get the hole sewn up, you can get the collagen injections, or whatever the injections, or silicone injections into the pussy lips to make them fatter. Men, you can't have surgery to get more dick. Whatever dick it is, you can get the machine to like puff it up and plump it up and all that kind of stuff. But you know what I mean? But who's doing all that? Who's doing all of that? I know that there are people who are, but it's just absolutely absurd to me. So the question still stands. Does the length or size of the woman's pussy lips determine how good her pussy is going to be? If you look at a woman who automatically, when you're looking at her and she's standing in front of you, you can see that her lips are hanging down a little bit. Does that turn you off? Do you determine in your mind that, oh, this is not going to be a good fuck because I can see her pum pum her pum pum hanging down, so that means that she has a lot of mileage on her pussy? But if you flip it around and you meet somebody who really and truly she's still a virgin, but her pussy lips are hanging down, are you going to predetermine that she's lying to you, or she's done something that she's not supposed to do, or whatever the case may be, just visually by the way that her pussy looks? That's the question. Cuddy 2 times to a real nigga, it won't matter. See, Mr. Cuddy 2 times, that's why I like you. That's exactly the point. You've got girls who have the most pristine pussy. And like Craig's driver says, it's like an echoing hallway. You know what I mean? You cannot prejudge or predetermine how good a pussy's gonna feel just by the length or size of her pussy lips. It makes no sense. I would more readily accept you saying to me that it's not visually appealing to you, that you don't like the way that it looks, and maybe that's a turn off, as opposed to saying that, oh, well, her pussy must have mileage on it because her pum-pum lips are hanging down. That's just dumb. I'm sorry, not to be disrespectful, but it's just dumb. CH Sarwar, sorry, no. I'm not accepting your chat request. You can delete it. Cuddy 2 times, long as it ain't a dick down there, I won't be discouraged. Good stuff. Dora Coleman, guys are all about what looks good to them. A woman can have a small pum-pum and it can be trash. But that's exactly what I'm saying. The size of the pussy lips or the fatness or the skinniness or anything else, it's like when they say girls with maga pum-pum, so girls with skinny pum-pum are deep. Girls with skinny pum-pum can take a whole lot of dick. And I know that, like when you look at porn and you see some of these, like, sorry, not to be racial or whatever, but you see like some of these really tiny, skinny white girls, and they're taking like an arm full of like a dick that's this long. That's conditioning. It's not because they're MAGA and, there's more room. Listen to me. The depth of the pussy for every woman is the same. Yes, sometimes, you can bend a dick in there and get a little bit more lodged inside of it. But at the end of the day, the depth of the pussy is the same for every fucking woman on the planet. I don't care who the bitch is. Not to be disrespectful. It doesn't make a difference. The depth of pussy for every woman is the same. Every woman. Now, for men, the length of your dick varies. You know what I mean? And really and truly, I don't care who she is. When you're really trying to take 9 and 10 inches, there's a level of pain that's involved in that drugs also have to be involved, and a lot of cutting and pasting in between the scenes in order to get to that point. The thing is, some people take porn to be true and think, okay, well, if she's skinny and she's got like the bony pussy, then that's better because that means she can take more dick and that means that her pussy's deep and her pussy's tight. That's not the case. This is cinematography we're talking about. You cannot compare porn to real life. You cannot compare those actors to real life. You cannot compare those scenarios and situations to real life because those people are prepped in a different type of way to handle different types of things. It's like when they're doing anal. There is no dick that is sliding into anybody's ass that easily. There is lube, there is fingering, there's preparation and getting it ready to actually take the dick. And that's all the stuff that you don't see in between. It's like the fluffers. You don't see the girls or guys who are sucking dick or stroking dick or getting them tied off so that their dick is good and hard and ready to go before anything is recorded and in between. It's cinematography. Don't let that fool you into what the real world is actually like. Malakaizel, I think the way your muscles work as well. Absolutely. The most important part of the pussy, outside of the visual appeal, is the internal workings. What makes a woman loose is her elasticity in the muscles and what she does in there. If the Kegel exercises, or if she can quint on the dick and squeeze up her pum pum from inside, you know what I mean? Like that. That's a completely different thing than her having like long or hanging or loose pussy lips. Those two things have nothing to do with one another. Tell me that it's not visually appealing to you. Don't tell me that her pussy must be loose if her pussy lips are big. Those two things are not synonymous. Those two things don't go together. You know, like which one of these things doesn't belong to the other? Those two things don't go together in any way, shape, or form. There's a tongue. I don't even know. I gotta scroll back because I don't even know. I missed some of the conversation. Mr. Environmental Fantastic, you are itching for me Okay, so 88th Wonder, you asked, so a smaller woman can take more. I don't think it has anything to do with, I don't think it has anything to do with size. I think it has to do with the ability. Because I know some tick fluffy girls that can take some dick. And then I know some tick fluffy girls that they're balling for 4 and 5 inches. You know what I mean? It's an individualized thing in terms of how much a woman can take. What is the same for every woman, though, is the depth of her pussy. Because really and truly, when you look at any diagram of any woman and the internal workings of her pom pom, the depth is maybe, 5 inches, 5, 6 inches, something like that. So if she's taking 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, first of all, she's not taking 14 unless she's trying to die and go to the people's hospital. But if she's taking like 7 and 8, that's coming with some pressure and pain. Most women, we like the pressure and the pain. We're not going to complain about it. If it's a good 8-inch dick, we're not going to complain. We like the pressure and the pain. But then you have some women who don't like that pressure and the pain. They're comfortable with 4, 5, and 6 inches. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, the depth of every woman's pussy is the same. Sorry, I'm going to scroll back up. Andrew Koza, greetings and good night. Welcome. Dora Coleman, how much a woman can take is how turned on she gets. That is also a factor too. If you're okay, so if you're a man where your sex is boring, but the woman loves you, she's still gonna give you some pom pom. It may not, like, she may not get really wet. She may not be super aroused. She may do a little bit of faking to kind of encourage you because she loves you and she wants you to have a good time and she wants you to nut and it's whatever and then it's done and it's over. But a woman who is turned on by you, she's going to be ready, willing, and able before you even touch her. Just like listening to you, the thought of you, all of that is going to arouse her to the point where her body relaxes enough to take a little bit more than what her body can physically take, if that makes sense. So, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, when you've got the 8 and 9 inches, when you're banging on her cervix, which is the door, that's when it's happening, because it's like, okay, she's super duper aroused. So her body's allowing her to take a little bit more. All of her endorphins are feeling endorphins. And there's another word, adrenaline, and that, all that sort of stuff is rushing and going. So it kind of changes the scope of things. But again, we're not talking about that. What we're talking about is, do the size of a woman's pussy lips determine how good her pussy is going to be? Does the size of a woman's pussy lips, as men or women, determine whether or not that's somebody that you want to fuck or that's somebody whose pussy that you want to eat? Do you automatically get turned off and say to yourself, that looks like it's been run around the block? As somebody said earlier, it looks like curtains, or as Dr. Marie said, they call it curtains, or it looks like roast beef. No, I don't want to touch that. Is that something that's more sort of visual and mental and thinking that the sex isn't going to be good because of the appearance of it versus the sex actually not being good because the sex is just trash? Again, you can't link those two things together, because you have women who have neat, tidy, tucked in away pom pom and their box is garbage. And then you've got some women whose lips may hang down a little bit longer and they're out there murdering people's life with how good the pussy is. Anyhow, that was topic number 1. We're going to leave that for now and move on. So one of the ones that I was really interested in covering, is period sex, yay or nay. And when I had actually posted this on my page, people were responding within the actual post itself. So I think more people were in favor of period sex versus people who were not. Now, of course, you have some people who they're like, nah, that's messy. It's blood. It's the body's waste. I don't want to get involved with that. And I completely understand that. And then some people, from a pain factor, if you have period cramps, it probably isn't the most comfortable thing. Although I've heard, I haven't actually done any research, which I will, but I've heard that having sex while you're on your period, especially during the cramping phase, can actually help the cramps. Don't know how true that is or not. And then you have some people, they're like, it's a little bit of blood. You either get into the shower or put some plastic sheeting down, or rags and towels that you're not overly concerned about them either getting stained or getting messed up. And you just kind of continue to do what it is that you do. Now, I know for some women, hormonally, they get, their hormones are on high, maybe like 3-4 days, maybe like 2 or 3 days after their period started. So not the first day because it's like super duper heavy, but usually like a day 2 or day 3, they don't have so much of an issue with it. S. Marie, listen to me. Frank, whatever your name is, I'm just going to eject you because I'm not able for you talking about my delicious boobs right now. How do I get rid of you? There we go. See you later. I don't even know. Environmental fantastic. I'm just going to block you because I don't know what you're talking about. S. Marie, period sex. Baby, it helps with cramps. Okay, so that's what I wanted to find out because you're the first person that I've actually talked to who says that because I don't know. I can't think if I've talked to anybody else who says the same. But I have heard that. As I said, I haven't done any sort of research around it myself, but I have heard that period sex is, I guess it's kind of like a, it's like an internal massage. So maybe that's why, like, you know, it's that kind of massage factor. I think also maybe like the hormones from the man's semen, and, you know, the proteins and whatever else is in it helps to kind of ease things as well. Scrolling back up, Dion688, greetings and welcome. Liza LHLBY, I don't know how to even pronounce that. Welcome and good evening. Ishmael 1 2 3 4 5 9 10 11 12 13 14. Welcome, what's up? Scroll back down. Malakaizel, the best sex I had was actually when I was on my period. Really? Okay, so I need, between you and S. Marie, please, I need you to explain to me and explain to everybody who's participating. Okay, 88th Wonder, don't say that they're nasty because I'm going to eject you from the conversation. Be respectful. People have different preferences and people enjoy different things. You can't say that someone's nasty because it's not something that you would do. Behave and be respectful. So S. Marie and Malakaizel, if either of you can give me your perspective on the differences between having sex while you're on your period versus having sex just sort of regularly. Thank you, 88th Wonder. I appreciate it. Or versus, you know, having sex regular. So as S. Marie had said, it definitely is something that helps to ease the cramps. And then Malakaizel, both of these women are women that I know really well. And Malakaizel also said that having sex on your period definitely was one of her better experiences. Now, for me personally, so I will share because I like to share stuff about myself. I've had period sex. Okay, so I like the first day or so, I don't want anybody to touch me. I don't even want Breeze to touch me. I don't want a fly to pitch on me. Like I said, I don't even want Breeze to touch me because I'm hypersensitive and I just, you know, the cramps and everything else. Nah, nobody's my friend. Nobody's my friend on day 1 and 2 except some weed and some chocolate and Netflix. Weed, chocolate, and Netflix on the first 2 days of my period are my best friends. Nobody else can talk to me and nobody else is my friend. Okay, so, but after that, so like when things kind of start to die down and ease out and whatever the case may be. So I've had period sex. It's not my favorite, but it's not horrible. You know, and with the right person, it can be a really great experience. One of the things that I've found is really actually nice is doing it while you're in the shower. So now I've done it where you're on a bed and there are towels that are laid down or, you know, extra cloths or whatever the case may be, you know, for the mishaps and, you know, the collection of stuff. And that's been interesting and it wasn't that bad, but if I had to choose the better experience of having period sex, it definitely would have been in the shower. So somewhere between the warm water, the steam, the sound of the water, the motion, and just kind of mixing with everything. And then, of course, the water helps to kind of thin things out. It was a good experience. The only problem is if you do have cramps and it's something where it affects your lower back, it can become painful sort of being in an upright position or a bent over position for an extended period of time. That would be the only downside to it. But as far as it was, like, it wasn't a terrible experience. S. Marie, it was the orgasm for me that made it. Okay. Carolina King, what's going on? Nice to see you. 80th Wonder, I just don't feel good or comfortable with sex on y'all's cycle. No, and you know what? That's the part I'm saying. You're your comment or your perspective, I appreciate it. That's not something that you have to say that you're saying respectfully. That is from a personal standpoint, and that I'm okay with. What I was saying earlier that I'm not okay with is chastising somebody and saying that they're nasty for something that they enjoy. Because I think universally we can all agree that the things that are off limits when it comes to sex is playing with shit, scat play, fecal matter, anything to do with children or babies, and anything to do with animals. Those are all nasty, and those are things that are off limits, and you know what I mean? That's just a no-go for anything. But if your opinion is that you're not comfortable with having sex with a woman while she's on her cycle, I can respect that. What I was saying to you earlier is just don't chastise other people for what their thoughts and their preferences are, because people like different things. S. Marie, so did you find that your orgasms were more, sorry if I'm not delving too personally, did you find that your orgasms were more intense when you were on your period versus other times, or is it just a different type of intensity? That's my question. Carolina King, shower cycle sex is good and it helps with cramps for some. Yes, that's the what we were talking about earlier. So for me personally, when having sex on my period in the shower, so this was like maybe day 3, day 4 of my cycle, it didn't help with my cramps. Like I could still feel the pain. I was able to achieve orgasm multiple times, which surprised me because I didn't think that I was going to be able to. Like I always feel like, you know, the period part actually interferes with having an orgasm, because for me, like I'm thinking, okay, well, you know, under normal circumstances, you know, the stuff that's helping to lubricate the passageway and helping to lubricate his dick and helping to lubricate the condom and helping to lubricate overall so that you can achieve an orgasm, that stuff doesn't happen when you're having your period. But there's still lubrication that's happening, you know, although for some it may be an unpleasant type of thing, but there is enough lubrication that's happening for other reasons that allows you to still achieve orgasm. I need to do some research on it because I don't know what that particular thing is, if like we're still producing, okay, so like you see how a woman can still get pregnant when she's on her period. I'm wondering if it's the same sort of thing where our bodies are still producing those same sort of secretions and they're just kind of mixed in with everything else that's going on. S. Marie, different. I have intense orgasms all the time. Okay, all right. You don't have to brag and boast. You don't have to be boasty with it. That's joking. Dora Coleman, I can't do period sex. I can't get past the smell or mess. And you know what? That's true. For a lot of people, a lot of women, a lot of men, that is definitely a factor. Malachi, so you've had multiple orgasms with it as well. So for me, like Dora Coleman, I'm kind of on the same page as you, because yeah, it's an unpleasant smell. The sight of it can be unpleasant, which is interesting because I'm a person that has bloodlust, whereas for me, it's the other way. Like I like to bite and extract blood. We're not going to talk about that. We'll do that in another segment. But yeah, the smell of it can be a turnoff. And that's what I was saying. Like, I don't necessarily know that for a lot of women that they do engage in period sex on the first or second day. I think they kind of wait till maybe things die down to like maybe the third or fourth day. I could be wrong. I know for myself, in thinking about any of the experiences that I've had, which haven't been a lot, maybe like a dozen in my lifetime. I'm an old lady. I don't look it, but I'm up in years. So when I think about that sort of factor over a period of time, you know, it's never been on the first or second day. It's always been when things start to slow up to the point of maybe teetering off. Ink Demel, you wrote the word you. Not sure why. Not sure I want to know why. I'm just going to leave it right there. I don't know if okay, Ink Demel. You know, okay, so I'm going to pause for a minute. Every week I say to myself, hi, Don. Every week I say to myself, I'm not going to cuss anybody. I'm not going to get vexed. I'm not going to go into patois. I'm not going to tell nobody about their muma. And every week I get tried. So, Ink Demel this week thought it was important for everyone to know that he likes doggy style. So, Ink Demel, I'm going to tell you politely, a little disrespectfully, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares, least of all me. I don't know who you are. I'm not interested in knowing who you are. You and I are never going to meet. Maybe our paths might cross in a lifetime. You might recognize me because you can see me. I'm definitely not going to recognize you. I don't give a good goddamn if you like having sex on your head top in the snow in the middle of a desert. Middle business. Be here, be present, join the discussion. If you can't, beg you, sir, look at me all you want. Just do it quietly, please. Just do it quietly, because nobody cares. Nobody cares. Okay, so back to our regularly scheduled program. Stop Marie. We had a towel and we went to work. Okay. Yeah, that first couple of days, you tried it on your second day. You're good. Yeah. Like I said, the way that I feel on my first 2 days, I don't even want the breeze to blow on my skin too hard. I don't want nothing touching me, least of all anybody touching me. But it's one of those things where if you get into the shower, and like I said, the water's warm and it's hitting against you and it's kind of thinning things out. It's not that terrible of an experience. And again, like I said to 88th Wonder, it's each to his own. It's not something that's for everybody, and I am in no way, shape, or form suggesting that it's something that everybody should try. Try things at your level of comfort, but just don't rule things out is more so my thought process. Sometimes we get locked into these headspaces of we're never going to do this or we're never going to do a particular type of thing. And then lo and behold, you meet somebody who changes your entire perspective, or you get into a long-term relationship with someone who changes your entire perspective. Don, are you laughing at what I just said? Because I'm cussing the man and telling him to sit down quietly. I tell you, every week, I'm trying to, it's self-growth and self-development. I'm trying every week to be a better person, and I'm trying every week to have more patience. I've already ejected one person from the live, but every week I try to, personal growth and development, and we have this discussion every week. The Bearded Grim, what's up? Nice to see you. Welcome. Every week we have this conversation where you all see how I dress. I'm provocative. It is just my nature. It's cleavage. It's not that serious. And the ones who get super excited about it and feel every week that they need to come on here to tell me about my boobs, I don't have nothing for you. I have 0 fucks to give. Anyhow, so yeah, I'm an advocate of trying new things. I'm an advocate of exploration, sexual exploration. I am an advocate of opening up your mind in terms of trying new things and having new experiences. Johnny Jones, don't laugh. These people, I'm telling you, every week somebody's trying to grieve my spirit, and I just don't know why. It's just unnecessary. And this is the thing, is like, I don't even care if you want to look like it's cleavage. Like, seriously, look, but just sit fucking quietly and do it quietly. Why do you need to tell me? Like, and my whole thing is, what is it that you think is going to happen? You live somewhere that I don't know. The likelihood of me and you, whoever the person is, running into one another is not likely. So what do you think is going to happen? Like, seriously, what do you think is going to happen? Whew, my goodness me. At this rate, I'm never going to get all the feathers to put into my wings so I can get into heaven, because people just want me to sin my soul every week. So anyhow, as I was saying, I'm an advocate of sexual exploration. I am definitely an advocate of trying new things. I am an advocate of being open-minded and not judging people based on the things that they enjoy doing. Because you know what, we're all different, and people like different things. But I also say, don't limit yourself, because you don't know who could come along in your life, and you just may feel the desire to be open and the desire to try something different other than you have before. And even if you never do, that's okay too. Just don't knock anybody else who enjoys, certain types of things. I know, so on this conversation where, when we were in high school, you're thinking like, oh, I'm never sucking dick. No disrespect to any race, but that's something that white girls do. White girls only suck dick, and I'm never. And now sucking dick and eating pussy is so commonplace. It's like people saying like, oh, I would never eat a woman's ass. And now eating ass is so commonplace. It's like, it's really bizarre how things have changed. It's like, if you don't do those things, something's wrong with you and your sex is whack. If you're not doing those things, like, nothing's going in for your sex. You understand? So, things change and people change. Ink Demel, yeah, you're itching to get ejected. First of all, it's whenever I'm with girl. You see, and this is the thing. Then you want to chat to me, sir, and can't even compose a proper sentence. So let me just read it the way that you wrote it for everybody's entertainment. Because clearly you want me to cuss and carry on crazy, so let me help you out. Whenever I'm with girl, don't feel like having sex, but don't know why. You need a therapist, sir, and I'm not her. And if you're looking for private consultation, you need to pay me. I need a drink and I need a spliff. I can't. Oh my goodness me. 80th Wonder, I'm just making fun. I'm not even new to it, so I have a level of understanding. I appreciate that. Yeah. Time-wise, we've got 20 minutes left, so we're going to leave that discussion. I appreciate everyone who has shared and given some input into that topic. Then the last topic of the day that we are going to cover. So, if you're with somebody who you're seeing regularly, and whenever you guys fuck, he only wants to fuck from behind, does he have a problem with looking you in your face? Does that mean that he likes you less? So, earlier, I know, Don. DJ Doc Fada, what's going on? So earlier, okay, first of all, Mr. Craze, don't show off because you're smoking your OG Kush. Take a draw for me, please. Take a nice deep draw and blow it out slowly for me. So earlier, somebody had posted, if I only fuck a girl from behind, it's because she's ugly. And I thought to myself, 1, you're feisty. 2, wow, really? Is that what's going on? Like, boy. So, I know there are some men who their preferred position is bakas or backshots or doggy style because any sort of like missionary position or missionary legs up makes them come faster because they're not as in control. Now, I know for a lot of men, being in a doggy style position, that is your most dominant position for the simple fact that you are in control of everything. You're in control of her arch. You're in control of the movements of her hips. You're in control of, you're in control of everything. You're in control of how much you spread her open, depending on how you grip her. You're in control of how much dick you're digging into her, depending on how, you know what I mean? And for the most part, as women, in that position, we might fling it back on you every now and again. But for the most part, if your stroke game is on point, we're incapacitated in that position and you have the upper hand and the advantage. Sorry, scrolling back. Okay, so Craze Driver said, sometimes I feel like you're just trying to be controversial, see, when you say things. So that does mean that he likes you less. So let me ask you, if you fuck your wife from behind, does that mean that you don't love your wife because you're fucking her from behind? Think about what you're saying. Come on, stop it. Carolina King, you can always love doggy and be in front of the mirror. See, I like those kind of solutions. 88th Wonder, I don't know why you're gritting your teeth. Craze Driver, that's a man's secret and that wasn't supposed to get out. Really? I'm sorry, what was the secret? Hollywood to Detroit. Hi. Nice to see you. I haven't seen you for a very long time. Nice to see you. Welcome to the chat. Okay, so y'all made me drop my pen. Okay, so sorry, I'm coming back. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so as I said, you have some men that for them, that's the best position in terms of the control of their dick because it prevents them from coming too soon unless the woman starts to fling it back on them and then everything's just shot to hell. But I know for a lot of guys that I've talked to, being on top for them it's different because like there's so much more stuff that's happening when you're on top because, regardless of whether for those people who say that they don't fuck the woman face to face because she's ugly or whatever. Okay. So let's assume that the woman is a really pretty woman. There are a number of factors. So now you're looking at her eyes as her eyes are rolling back into her head. You can see her mouth. You can see her lips. You can see her throat. You can see her neck. You see her breasts. You see all this movement that's going on top of being in the pussy. So I can understand for a lot of guys why they don't like the on top positions as much as the behind positions from the standpoint of control. As I said earlier, when you're in the back shot position, the doggy style position, it's easier for you to control your stroke. It's easier for you to control the movement of her hips. It's easier for you to control things like the arch of her back if you get her into a good position. It's easier for you to control like the spread of her. It's easier for you to control a whole lot of things in regards to the sex that you're having when you're in the back shot position versus when you're on top and there's like a whole lot of other stuff going on and a whole lot of other stuff that you're seeing that stimulates you where you're like, okay, now I'm on top. I got 2 strokes in, and now I want to come, right? So I can understand from that point. My whole thing is, if she's not attractive and she's not somebody that you really want to fuck, why are you fucking at all? Is the question that I would ask. And maybe that's a stupid question being a woman, but I don't know. See, there's another person who's looking to get cuts. Abel Mustafa. Yo, sit your ass down quietly and stop asking me anything about open. What the fuck does open boobs baby mean? Is that even English, sir? Yo, don't get on my nerves, please and thank you. Okay, let me just delete you because me not able. Just let's say that. Okay. Carolina King, I completely lagged out or logged out. Marie, I like the skin to skin action. Okay. 80th Wonder, if anything, the attraction level depends on per mature orgasm, enticement, the things that turn us on. Absolutely. Premature, not per mature. Okay, got it. It's okay. Carolina King, Abu Mustafa, I deleted him from the conversation, so nobody cares if he wants to be a jerk. He can be a jerk by himself and go jerk off by himself. We're not having that part of the conversation. I just, it never ceases to amaze me, the level of stupidity of people who come on to other people. Like, you don't know me from anywhere. And you assuming that I'm not going to cuss you and tell you about your mama is a very bad assumption to make, because I will tell you about your mom and I don't give a fuck because I don't know you and I don't know her. Try don't push me to that point, because it's not a pleasant thing. When I have to go into the space of having to cuss and carry on like a dirty Jamaican, that's a problem. Don't do that. It's not nice. I don't like being that guy. Oh, you're saying your connection failed. That's okay. You're back. I see you. Dora Coleman, I mean, if that is all he wants to do, I can pretend he is. So if you're getting the good dick from behind and you don't necessarily feel like he's the one or whatever, you can always pretend he's like a Idris Elba or whoever it is that I know. I always call out Idris Elba's name, or anybody that appeals to you. Yeah. I just don't think it necessarily equates to or equals to a person not liking a person because all they want to do is just fuck them from behind. You have some guys that for them it's the visual thing. Like, they like the undulation of the ass. They like the way that the ass ripples. They like the way that the ass looks when it bounces back. You also have people who have POV fetishes, which is point of view fetishes, where for them, if they watch a lot of porn, where most of the porn that they watch is backshot porn, when they're fucking, because in their mind that's what stimulates them, they're looking at it from their point of view of being, in that position of like the way that the porn stars are, where they're fucking a girl from behind and all they're doing is looking at the arch of her back and looking at the way that her ass, takes the dick and backs up, and the way that his dick disappears inside of her, and, the kind of back and forth motion or whatever the case may be. There are a number of different reasons for people to suggest that it's because they're not attracted to the woman or because the woman's ugly, that's why he only fucks her from the back. There's more to it than that. It's never that simple. Malakaizel, I think having him enter from behind and he's controlling works for me. Absolutely. 80th Wonder, yes. Carolina King, you have so much more to do when she is laying on her back. This is true. But you also have to think about, for some people, I won't necessarily say men, because you do have, transgender individuals, you have individuals who wear strap-ons and so on and so forth. For some people, they're not interested in doing anything else with the rest of the body, because it's a lot for them to have to deal with. For some people, in order for them to get to the point of just focusing kind of like on the orgasm, and either not coming or getting to a comfortable place where she's had enough orgasms that they can come, they can't do anything else other than that one thing and focus on that one thing. And it's not to say that there's anything wrong with that, but there needs to be a conversation that happens with the person who's on the receiving end. So she's not feeling like, okay, all you ever want to do is just, fuck me from behind. What's going on? Like, I never get to look in your face. I never get to kiss you or da da da. If it is somebody that you actually genuinely care about, instead of having her feel like, it could be, oh, you don't think I'm pretty enough, or, you think that there's something wrong with my face, or you just don't want to look at me, or like it's hurting her feelings, maybe try going a few minutes in another position other than Baka's, and then come back to the Baka's position. You understand? Carolina King, and if you really want to get saucy, get it from the size of okay, see? Now you're talking my language. I say this all, y'all hear me say this all the time. My favorite position is side scissors. Side scissors kind of gives you a little bit of the back shot action and a little bit of the missionary. It's kind of like right in between. You know what I mean? So if she's on her side, you can kind of twist her a little bit more and cock up her bati, which is her bottom, her ass. You can cock it up a little bit so that you're actually getting a little bit of that kind of back shot kind of motion. But as Carolina King says, you're able to still reach around and like play with her breast, massage her clit, put your hand around her throat. You see, Carolina King, everybody, I big you up. Big up yourself. Envirocomptastic, I just love watching a nice booty bounce from the back. And, for a lot of men, that's what it is. But I'm saying, like, as we get older and as we become more seasoned in our intimate interactions, and as we learn more about the type of sex that we want, need, like, and everything else, exploring different positions can help you have a less boring sex life, can help you avoid a lot of conflict in terms of the other person feeling some type of way or having some sort of emotional reservations about the type of sex that you're having. As you said, like, if backshot is your favorite thing, compromise and do side scissors. If backshot is your favorite thing, and that's the way that you maintain control of yourself, so you don't come too quickly, try the side scissors. Try doing it, while she's laying on her side, because as I said, you can tilt her a little bit more so that her ass is up in the air and you kind of get that. I can't even demonstrate. I'll have to figure out how to do that for you guys at another date and time. Planet 85, you're a little bit late, but nice to see you. Come on, Seasoned Saints, I love you so much. But yeah, if she's on her side, you can tilt her ass up a little bit, like cock it up a little bit, so you're still getting some of that back shot type of action. But then there's other ways that you can also please her and stimulate her. You can do the eye contact where she's not feeling like, okay, all you ever want to do is fuck me from behind because you want to see my ass. But then for people like Envirocomptastic, you can still see her ass, bouncing back against you if that's the thing that stimulates you and kind of keeps you there. Then you have access to the rest of her body. You can play with her breast. You can put your hand around her throat. You can grab her waist. You can squeeze and massage and rub up things and make her feel better about the experience. And I'm telling you, I say this all the time. When you treat up a woman's body properly, when you guys are having sex, trust me, she will open up and give you everything like the flooding gates. You see, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a cartoon where the little boy's standing at the dam and he has his finger in the dam to prevent it from breaking, and then he pulls his finger out and all of a sudden there's a spout of water and then the dam breaks and everything gushes free. That will be your woman if you do it properly. If you've never tried side scissors, if you've never tried having sex with a woman, your person, while she's on her side, trust me, try it once. You won't regret it. Woo! I feel a little bit of excitement going on. It's not relationship stuff. It's intimate stuff. Again, I'm not going to chastise you or knock you. Some of the things that you say have me puzzled. You have people who have intimate relationships with people that, that's their intimate person who's not necessarily their boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or otherwise. So it kind of sounds like basically what you're saying is that anything other than backshot is for a relationship, which doesn't make any sense because people have different levels of relationships and different types of relationships. Malachi's like, yeah, the conversation's heating up, but unfortunately the conversation's going to wind down shortly. So we have 6 minutes. I try to keep it to an hour and not have it run too long. And as always, I appreciate everyone who has join the discussion. I know, just as it's getting heated up. See, I should have had that conversation first and then kind of work through the other ones, but I felt the other ones were really important as well, in talking about the, whether or not the size of a woman's pussy lips determine how good the pussy's going to be, as well as, whether or not people enjoy period sex and what the differences are around that, if they're for it or against it. Mr. Nook 186, hello, hello, hello. Unfortunately, you're coming in while we are going out. I'm about to wrap up this week's Wet Wednesday. But let me say first and foremost, thank you to everyone. I appreciate you guys. As always, I appreciate the openness and the discussion, and everyone who has actively participated. I love you guys so much. I mentioned last week that I broke 2,000 in terms of plays on the actual podcast itself, which streams on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Stitcher, and I am so grateful and thankful to everyone for that. I am up to 135 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and I know that that's a small number, but honestly, it makes me so happy. Like, when I look at it, when I started, I was at like 10, 15, 20. 135 for me is a huge number, and I'm so appreciative of everyone who supports me and supports my podcast and shows love on a regular basis. I hope that I do you guys justice in kind, and just in terms of my interactions with you and the things that you guys want to discuss and the different conversations that I bring and expose and engage everyone in. So if I am not doing my job, please let me know. Please feel free to DM me. You can email me. There's always ways to get in contact with me, and I'm receptive to constructive feedback in any way, shape, or form, because what I do, I'm not just doing for myself. I am actually doing for people who follow me and people who ask for my advice and opinion. There's a young lady that I interacted with today who had asked my advice about her relationships and some things that were happening. And when I think about things like that, like, without getting emotional, like it touches me. It touches me, and I just want to say thank you guys for trusting me with yourselves. Thanks. I appreciate you, because everything that I'm doing, I couldn't do without you guys. So I just want to say that first and foremost, thank you. For everyone who's participated in the discussion tonight, for everyone who's rocked out with me, everyone who's cussed everybody that I've cussed and had to kick them off my life. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. You guys are so totally awesome, and you are the best followers ever. I'm telling you that. And I appreciate everything that you share with me, because I know sometimes it's difficult to do that, and you never know, what the responses are going to be. But I appreciate everyone who comes on and shares something and gives a little piece of themselves every week. You guys are the most awesome, and I appreciate you. My email address is the Pum Pum Chronicles pod at gmail.com. The podcast page is the Pum Pum Chronicles pod. That's the same for the YouTube channel. Again, I have live episodes that are streaming on Apple, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Google Play, Google Music, Google Play, one of them two there. Spotter, I can't even say I'm saying Spotter, Spotify, and Stitcher. Miss Jackie Daniels, I didn't even see you come into the room. Big up yourself. Oh my gosh. I love you guys so much. I really do. See, this is the part where I'm starting to get emotional. So come, let me just get through what I have to say. Yeah, that was my thank you. But you guys are fabulous, and I really appreciate you. And I have two exciting announcements coming up. One, I'm going to be launching my Patreon in probably about a week, and there are going to be some things in there called the Audio Peep Show and Blurred Vision, which are audio and video clips of some intimate things that I am involved in with people. We'll get more into that. And then I also want to let you guys know that I have booked a space to do my live, which is going to be happening June 27th in Philadelphia. Details and information about that probably won't be out for another month, but I just want to give everybody a heads up. Start to save your money. Yeah. Live and in color. I am doing my very first live gig in Philadelphia, Saturday, June 27th. There will be information coming out about that and everything that's included. There will be food. There will be an open bar. There's going to be performances in addition to myself. There's going to be a toy talk session. I'm going to do a couple of live hot seats. Like it's going to be a lot of fun. So again, mark your calendars. I know that there's no information as yet, but set aside the date, set aside the weekend. Saturday, June 27th, live in Philadelphia is where I will be. And as soon as I have all the information together, of course, if that were you, you're gonna come. I'm so excited. Sorry. Totally having a freaked out moment. Your birthday's a CSC. You guys need to come. Hollywood to Detroit. Thank you so much. Saturday, June 27th. Put it in your calendars. If you're looking for something special to do for the weekend, Philadelphia is the place that you want to be. It's going to be a really great time. Yeah, so that's as much as I'm going to say on that. But again, I just wanted to thank everyone for being here, and thank you guys for the love and support. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the upliftment. Just thank you for everything since I decided to go solo. I appreciate you guys so much because, you know, I wouldn't and couldn't do any of this without you. So my time is running out. I hope that you guys have a fabulous wet Wednesdays. You know, keep it saucy, keep it wet, and I will see you guys next week.